Welcome to the Deep Dive, your shortcut to being well-informed. We take a stack of sources, dig in, and pull out the key insights for you. Today, we're getting into Wisdom Unveiled. This is the 33rd part of our 40-part exploration of the 12th century Persian poet and mystic Attar. Our insights, well, they're drawn from these really fascinating conversations between two Iranian philosophers, Dr. Ibrahim Dinani and Dr. Esmail Manzouri Larijani. These are from their Marifat recordings. And today, our focus is this captivating story from Attar's Musibatnama, sometimes called the Book of Affliction. It involves a little bird, the famous lover Majnun, and this surprising idea Attar calls the logic of the birds. Now, before we really dive in, just a quick note for you, our listener, this whole deep dive, it's a translation and reproduction of talks that were originally in Persian. And as you can probably imagine, especially when you're dealing with poetry, with mysticism, well, some nuances, maybe some specific details, they might not come across perfectly in English. So we apologize in advance if there are any small discrepancies. But we really hope you'll stick with us on this journey because the core wisdom here is just incredibly powerful. Okay, let's get into it. We kick off with this beautiful, kind of deceptively simple verse from Attar's Musibatnama. It really sets the stage, you know, it just talks about a little bird hopping around, moving its head, settling down. Seems very ordinary. But then Attar brings in Prophet Solomon. He's legendary, of course, for that unique gift, understanding the language of birds, a gift from God. And Solomon hears this bird's cries, its lament, even though it seems ordinary, and he turns to his companions and asks them, "Do you know what this bird is saying? Do you understand its sorrow?"
So right away, it signals there's something deeper going on here than just bird sounds.
Exactly. It's a classic setup. Hints at a hidden language, something beneath the surface. And this is where Attar brings in the concept of mantic alter.
The logic of the birds.
Right. Literally the logic of the birds. But it's way more than just, understanding tropes and tweets. It's about perceiving a deeper language, the language of existence itself.
Wow.
This ability, it's actually mentioned in the Quran, it signifies a really profound spiritual insight, something not everyone has access to. Only someone like Solomon, someone with that kind of spiritual stature, can really grasp this underlying truth, this logic.
So it's about seeing the essence of things.
Precisely. Discerning the inner state, the essence behind creation, not just looking at the outside.
Okay. So this little bird, what was its story? It was just looking for food, right?
Yeah, a very basic earthly need, searching for a single grain of food. And it accidentally wanders into Majnun's house.
The Majnun, the legendary lover. The very same. And what the bird sees inside, well, it's astonishing. Utterly bewildering.
What was it?
It saw Majnun completely lost in his devotion to Layla, his beloved. And he was performing funeral prayers, reciting the Takbir Allahu Akbar, God is greatest.
Okay, the funeral prayer.
But here's the thing. He wasn't doing it for one person who had died. He was doing it for everyone who passed by his house.
Everyone, like just random people walking down the street.
Exactly. Imagine it. Constantly performing funeral rites for the entire world passing by. A ceaseless, overwhelming act of mourning.
That sounds exhausting and a bit mad, frankly.
It seems utterly nonsensical at first glance, doesn't it? And that's the point.
So this is where it gets really interesting then. Why? Why is Majnun doing this? What's the deeper meaning Attar is trying to get across here? It can't be literal.
No, definitely not literal. This is the absolute core of Attar's message here.
Right.
For Majnun, remember, his entire world, his whole being, is consumed by his love for Layla.
Who represents the divine beloved in this context, right?
Exactly. The ultimate reality, God. So, for Majnun, everything else, everything outside that one single point of focus, his beloved, it just appears dead, lifeless.
Okay.
He perceives everything that is other than the beloved, what the mystics call Madun al-Haq, everything other than God, as having no real life. So, from his point of view, it needs a funeral prayer. His reality is completely filtered through this incredibly intense, singular love.
He doesn't see life in anything that isn't connected to God.
That's it. If it's not animated by that ultimate truth, it doesn't truly live for him. And this connects directly to some powerful verses in the Quran, like, everything will perish save his face.
Kulushain halikuni waha.
Everything fades away except God's presence.
Right. And also, everyone on it will perish. Kuluman aleha fan. If something isn't fundamentally connected to the ultimate truth, the divine source, well, in a profound spiritual way, it is dead.
So not physical death, but a spiritual state. Exactly. A state of being disconnected from the source of all life, all reality. Think of it maybe like a reflection in a mirror. The reflection exists, but does it have life on its own? Or does its reality depend entirely on the person standing in front of the mirror?
Okay, I get that. The reflection is dead without the source.
For Majnun, only that which is directly connected to, animated by the divine, has true eternal life. Everything else is just a passing shadow.
So the little bird sees this endless cycle of funeral prayers. Understandably, it gets worn out.
Completely exhausted.
Oh.
Cries out, how long do I have to watch this? How long must these funeral prayers go on? This task is endless. We need a plan, a tadbir.
A tadbir, like a solution, a remedy.
Yes, a wise plan, a way out of this overwhelming perception of death everywhere. The bird is asking for relief, for a different way to handle this.
And what solution does Majnun offer? It must be pretty profound.
It really is. Majnun, in this deep state of realization, offers something brilliant. He says instead of doing countless individual funeral prayers.
For every single separate dead thing.
Right. For every tree, every person, every distraction, every bit of the world that isn't God. Instead of all that, just perform one single prayer.
One prayer for everything.
One single funeral prayer. Just 4 takbirs. A unified prayer for everything that is other than God.
Wow.
It's a call to unify all those scattered, seemingly dead things into one single act of spiritual letting go, spiritual detachment.
See the unity behind the multiplicity of dead things.
Precisely. That's the wisdom the bird and the seeker needs. Stop getting lost in the details of the distractions. See them all as one thing, not God, and then turn away from it all in one go. This reminds me of that amazing verse by Hafiz, the great Persian poet.
Oh, what?
He says something like, "From the moment I made ablution from the spring of love, I struck 4 takbirs over everything."
Ah, yes, it's the same idea.
Exactly. It's not just a ritual act. It's deep spiritual detachment, a work of love, really. It means turning your whole attention away from everything finite, everything perishable, everything that isn't the beloved.
An internal cleansing.
A severing of attachments, yes.
That's a really fascinating point about unifying the dead into one prayer. And you mentioned this duality, didn't you? Unity, wadad, and multiplicity, kasrat. How unity can gather the many into one, but also generate the many from one. That can feel a bit abstract. Can you make it more concrete?
Sure, let's try. Think of the divine, God, as the ultimate unity.
Yeah.
The one, right?
Okay.
Now, everything else we see, touch, experience, all the incredible diversity of the universe, billions of stars, countless creatures, every single person, that's the multiplicity, the kasrat. All of it flows from that one source.
So the one creates the many.
Yes. But then, look at what Majnun does. He takes all those seemingly separate dead things of the multiplicity and performs one prayer. He's doing the reverse. He's gathering all that multiplicity back into a single concept.
Yeah.
Everything that is not God.
He's unifying his focus by seeing the common deadness.
Exactly. It's like seeing a vast ocean. That's the unity. But you also see the infinite waves within it. That's the multiplicity. Each wave is distinct, yet they are all just ocean.
Or like a single beam of white light containing all the colors.
Perfect analogy. The colors of the multiplicity. The white light is the unity. So unity in multiplicity means seeing the one source reflected in all the diverse forms. And multiplicity in unity means recognizing that all those diverse forms ultimately point back to and are contained within the one.
So Majnun's act isn't just philosophy, it's a practical spiritual technique.
Very much so. It's a way to train your perception. See the essential deadness, the lack of independent ultimate reality and everything separate, and redirect all your attention, all your love, to the only truly living reality, the source.
Okay, that makes more sense. So back to the bird. Majnun shares this radical idea.
Yeah.
Everything besides the beloved is dead. Just say one prayer for it all. How does this hit the bird? What happens to it?
Well, the bird, remember, was just focused on its little grain. It was metaphorically asleep, spiritually unaware.
Right.
But Majnun's words act like a lightning strike. It's a profound awakening, a huge aha moment for the bird.
It wakes up.
Completely. It suddenly realizes, wait a minute, I was a dead bird. I was chasing dead things, focused on this meaningless grain. If I wasn't dead, I would have been a hoopoe, the king of my own domain.
Ah, the hoopoe.
It sees its own true potential, its hidden spiritual royalty, which was just dormant until that moment. It realizes its current state isn't its true self.
And the hoopoe, that's the bird from the Quranic story with Solomon, right? The messenger bird.
That's the one, the bird that flies to the Queen of Sheba and brings back news of her kingdom, revealing hidden truths to Solomon.
So what does the hoopoe symbolize here for Attar? Why that specific bird?
In Sufi thought, especially Attar's, the hoopoe is this incredibly powerful symbol. It represents the flight of the human soul.
Not a physical bird, then?
No. It's about the soul's capacity to ascend, to soar beyond the mundane, to reach what they call a station of certainty, naba yakin, where it gains knowledge and insight that others can't grasp.
Discovering secrets.
Discovering the secrets of creation, yes. The true hupo, for Attar, is the awakened human soul itself. It's the part of us capable of that incredible spiritual journey, the part that can understand the logic of the birds, the deep truths.
That leads to a really important question, I think, about how we see ourselves. Are we like a kashkul, a beggar's bowl, just collecting bits of information, opinions, data from the outside world?
Just passively receiving.
Yeah. Or are we more like a fanis, a lantern, something that has its own light radiating from within, illuminating things, helping us discern what's real?
That's a crucial distinction, isn't it? Especially today with so much information flooding us. Attar and mystics generally, they strongly lean towards the lantern analogy. The soul, in its essence, is a fanis.
A lantern lit by divine light.
Exactly. Guiding us from within. There's that saying, the believer sees by the light of God, Al-Mu'minun binur Allah.
Okay.
This inner light, when we uncover it, helps us find our true selves, our connection to the divine. It lets us see reality clearly.
So it's not about collecting external facts like a bowl.
No, it's about activating that inner light to see what's truly alive and connected to God, and what's dead in Majnun's sense. It lets us see past the surface.
Okay, so if the soul is this lantern shining from within, does that mean we sort of create ourselves on this spiritual path, like building something new?
Interesting question.
Or is it more like we discover what was already there, just hidden, uncovering potential?
It's definitely, emphatically, a journey of discovery, not creation from scratch.
We're not making something out of nothing.
Not at all. We're unveiling what is already present. Think of it like polishing a mirror or removing layers of dust and veils that have covered up our true nature.
Okay.
Every step forward spiritually, every insight we gain, it's a new discovery of our own deep inner potential. A potential that was part of our original design, you could say.
So we're uncovering our inherent reality.
Recognizing the divine spark that's often buried under layers of forgetfulness or attachment to this dead world Majnun talks about.
Yeah.
And what's the very first step? The absolute crucial starting point for this self-discovery.
What is it?
Self-criticism.
Looking inwards first.
Exactly. Instead of always finding fault with the world, with others, blaming things outside, you have to turn that sharp, critical eye onto yourself first. Like the saying goes, first say the takbir over yourself.
Apply Majnun's principle to your own ego, your own attachments.
Precisely. When you genuinely criticize yourself, not in a self-hating way, but honestly acknowledging your flaws, your attachments, the dead parts within you, a veil lifts.
And you see more clearly.
You see a deeper layer of yourself, a truer self emerges. And this process, Attar suggests, is infinite. Each layer you uncover reveals another, bringing you closer and closer to that inherent hubo nature, that inner light.
That phrase, first say the takbir over yourself, it really echoes Rumi, doesn't it? I mean, Rumi was so influenced by Attar.
Immensely, yes.
Rumi talks about saying Allahu Akbar, when you sacrifice the ego, when you slay the lower self. He has those powerful lines.
About cutting off the head of that inauspiciousness.
Yes. So you can be freed from desire. It's that same idea of detachment, isn't it?
It's exactly the same core idea. It's about consciously severing your attention from mundan al-haq, from everything that is other than God.
All the dead stuff, inside and out.
Right, because it's only when we detach from these limiting things, these illusions, that the divine reality can actually manifest within us and through us.
Like the bird realizing it was dead until it heard Majnun and saw its true hupo potential.
Exactly. We have to detach from what isn't truly alive in us, our ego attachments, our focus on the perishable, to realize our own inner kingship, our potential for spiritual flight.
That potential is always there, waiting.
Always there, waiting to be discovered once the veils are lifted and our inner lantern, our fanis, truly shines.
Now, Attar also makes this interesting distinction between two kinds of seekers, the Salik Sayar and the Salik Tayar. What's the difference there?
Ah, yes. The traveling seeker and the flying seeker.
Sounds intriguing.
So Sayar means traveling, like someone walking. The Salik Sayar is the seeker who progresses step by step. It's a gradual journey, deliberate, patient, often involving effort and stages.
Like walking a long road.
Exactly. It's a valid path, often necessary. But then you have the Salik Tayar. Tayar means flying, like a bird.
The hupo.
Precisely. The Salik Tayar is the seeker who ascends swiftly, rapidly. It's often more intuitive, bypassing some of the gradual steps. Their understanding comes in flashes, leaps.
So much faster.
Much faster, yes. The speed and perhaps the altitude of the taiyar are far greater than the sayar. It's like comparing someone meticulously studying a map, foot by foot, versus someone suddenly seeing the whole landscape from above. Both are valid ways to know the terrain, but very different experiences.
And where is this flying seeker, the Hoopoe soul, actually going? Is it flying off into the unknown, charting new territory?
That's a really key point, and it's where the mystical path often differs from, say, modern exploration or even some philosophical quests.
How so?
The divine human, the true taiyar, isn't seeking something entirely unknown. They are seeking to return.
Return to what?
To their original home, their divine origin, their source. It's a journey back to what is most familiar at the deepest level of their being.
Not like Columbus sailing into the unknown west.
Not quite. It's more like Odysseus yearning for Ithaca. There's a sense of homecoming. It's a rediscovery of a primordial state of connection to the divine. And what drives this flight, especially for the taiyar, Attar suggests it's pulled by a kind of scent.
A scent, boo.
Yes, book. An intangible fragrance, a subtle pull, a deep spiritual memory of that true home. It's this profound yearning, this ache for the source, that gives the soul wings.
That longing puts the soul into flight.
It allows it to soar past the mundane, past all the dead things Majnun pointed out. It's what keeps the soul moving upwards, never truly resting, until it returns to the beloved, the source, where true eternal life is found.
It's the ultimate answer to the bird's weariness.
Find your inner hoopoe, catch that scent, and fly home.
Okay, so let's try and bring this all together for you. Listening. We've journeyed through this incredible story from Attar, starting with Majnun and the bird. We encountered that really radical idea. Only the beloved, only God, truly lives. Everything else is, in a deep way, dead. And this requires a kind of unified spiritual detachment, a shift in how we see everything. Then we saw the hoopoe emerge as the symbol for the awakened human soul. Soaring, capable of flight, discovering its true self not by making something new, but by unveiling what's already there.
Removing the layers.
And doing that through, crucially, self-criticism, looking inward first. And we saw this journey can be a slow walk, the sayar, or that swift flight, the taiyar. But either way, it's pulled by that subtle scent of our divine origin calling us back home.
It's really quite masterful, isn't it? How Attar uses this simple image, a bird, flight, to talk about these incredibly deep mystical truths. Spiritual ascension, our own inner potential, that hidden kingship.
That hoopoe is inside us.
It's within each of us, just waiting for that moment of awakening, waiting for us to clear away the dust so it can take flight towards its true home. It's really a call to look beyond the surface of our lives.
So for you, listening right now, maybe think about this. What deadness might be lingering in your own inner world, your own domain? What attachments or perspectives might be keeping your own soul from taking flight? Is there anything holding you back from really living, from finding that inner hoopoe? And maybe, can you detect any subtle scent, any quiet yearning calling you back toward your true origin, your most essential self? What might that feel like for you?
That's definitely a powerful thought to sit with, something for you to perhaps mull over, explore in your own way, in your own experience. Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive into Wisdom Unveiled. We really hope you'll keep exploring these incredible ideas, keep unveiling the wisdom in your own life. Until next time, keep seeking, keep asking those deep questions, and keep growing.